Oh, okay. It's nothing like the movies. God! Who are you?
I'm from another dimension. There's no time to explain. Listen.
What?
The multiverse is collapsing. It's up to you, AXEL. You must take you and your friends, go on a grand adventure across video game all across the multiverse. Only you can stop the destruction that's going to come. AXEL, are you listening? You understand the mission?
Mm-hmm. Yep, got it.
What?
So Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness has been out for a couple of weeks, and the reviews have been there. But now I feel like enough time has passed that I can get my thoughts on it because I'm just narcissistic enough to think anyone would care. Spoilers from here on out because there's no way to explain the plot without giving away massive details left out of the trailer, and mostly because it's been a couple of weeks and you had your time to see it. So last we left Doctor Strange, he was helping a young arachnid male deal with a multiverse event that was the result of a spell Wong told Strange not to cast. He sealed it up nice and tight, and we're moving forward. Now, you think that easy plot point of a multiverse event happening and Strange being descended would naturally lead the forces of the multiverse coming to bang on Strange's front door? Well, you'll be extra wrong with the soda on the side. No, the multiverse kerfuffle this time comes to us in the form of a new young lady named America Chavez. Another one of Marvel's attempts at hitting all demographics in a single minority teenager.
Seriously.
He has a dream about her and it sticks in his head, which is quite suspect. He then attends the wedding of insert love interest, Christine Palmer, who is getting married now to the generic nice guy that gets left at the altar in any other movie. Doctor Strange has a conversation with struggling to be relatable love interest until the plot aside, it's probably set up this contrived love story. He then hears the panic in the streets to find a teen being chased by an octopus monster, and seeing how he couldn't stop his former not really love interest from marrying the human embodiment of khaki pants, he decides to stop this relationship from blossoming into the hentai it's destined to be. During the action, Wong showed up to fight for his court-mandated Phase 4 action scene after a Supreme Court judge ruled Infinity War being fucked up was his fault for noping out after the first 20 minutes. They talk to the girl to determine what's going on, so she tells him he died before defending her, and then they decide to take her to Shangri-La. Dr. Weirdo then decides to enlist the help of Wanda Maximoff. He goes to her before she can even apologize for brainwashing the entire fucking city into playing house with her. He throws up his hands and pretty much tells her no one's interested in your obviously superior written Disney Plus series. He tells her the plan, then she reveals that she's actually the Scarlet Witch now and is obviously the villain because she is a witch in a Disney movie, meaning she is now evil by law. She warns him she was nice by sending a Lovecraft welcome party after her, and now she means for realsies. So Professor Conspicuous goes back to not Hogwarts for the inevitable fight with every wizard available. Wanda shows up for a last plea, just to give up the girl. I guess she heard all those nasty rumors of how he easily gave it up to Thanos before the fun started. Battle ensues and the Maroon Sources fucked up everybody. In desperation, the United States of Lopez uses her powers and warped her and Mr. Eccentric away for the franchise-defining weird montage of psychedelic movie special effects. They escape to a new dimension where they go and search for this universe's Sorcerer Supreme. In the meantime, Wanda uses the Darkhold to possess herself in the other universe, but to her dismay, a wizard runs up and sacrifices himself to destroy the Black Clutch. Wong then tells her he will never tell her whether she can continue this plot, unless she harms some wizards who he already thought were dead and were willing to sacrifice their lives not hours ago. He then takes her to Wundagore Mountain, which apparently is the original Darkhold filled with Colossi from Shadow of the Colossus, who welcome her. At this point I was thinking, Wanda, if the forces of evil are welcoming you into the final level of Doom 2016, you have to know you're not on the right path. Meanwhile, Dangy Strangey and the Democratic Republic of Gonzales found the Sanctum Sanctorum of this universe and their Sorcerer Supreme, Baron Mordo, where Strange tells us he was a problem for him because of all the numerous attempts he's taken to try and kill him. Like, that's not right. Marvel execs.
Yeah?
Am I missing something? The last time we saw him with Strange, he was walking away from in China. And last time we saw him in action, he was paralyzed at Benjamin Bratt. When did all this hypothetical action take place?
Hold on. Got my reading glasses here. Alright. Let's see. Okay, so you saw Doctor Strange?
Yep.
Doctor Strange 2?
Yeah.
And now this is the Multiverse of Madness, right?
Wait, this isn't Doctor Strange 2?
Well, of course not. Doctor Strange 2 with Baron Mordo leads an army of demons partnered with Legion and Mephisto to take over Earth.
Marvel's X, that movie never came out.
Oh, yeah, I see here. It was meant to release after Spider-Man Far From Home. It's alright, that's our fault.
Anyway, he gets slipped to Cliff Huxtable by Mordo and passes out. He awakes to find himself in a cell with, I bet you thought you escaped this ham-fisted love story, Christine Palmer studying him and giving us nice exposition on this universe. At this time, Wanda re-ups on her Darkhold Stranglehold on this universe version of herself and comes after Strange while abandoning the same children. She claims she'll rip the multiverse in half to get her. Doctor Strange is then taken to the Illuminati so they can tell him how he's the biggest problem to the multiverse, even though he's the only one trying to stop this multiverse event. They wait just enough for Wanda to show up and annihilate their Ultron guard force along with the Illuminati. Doctor Strange, Miss Palmer, if nasty, and My Country 'Tis of Thee are then subject to the most lackluster chase sequence I've seen since Mr. Turtle and Sammy the Snail's police chase. They are then awarded a book that is immediately destroyed, so what was the fucking point? And then get stranded in a nightmare universe. So for the third time this movie, people in the New World decide to seek out a Stephen Strange, although this has been nothing but a problem thus far. Here they find a Stephen corrupted by the Darkhold, and they fight because of course they do, and with no surprise our Stephen wins on the sheer power of plot armor. Here Stephen decides to use the same reality breaking spell Wanda uses. I mean, bad decisions hasn't stopped us yet, so maybe enough will win the day. Hey, it's how I got out of high school. It's upon using the spell that now consequences are a thing, even though Wanda has had zero problems using them. Stephen does, because adversity isn't the name of a marketing school. But Stephen, still wearing that plot armor, masters his demons and uses them to help get to the top of Wondergore Mountain just in time to help Wong and stop the ritual Wanda just started because she was nice enough to not try to commit any crimes without the star of the show around. They overpower Wanda, and Doctor Strange gives America the stern talking she needed in order to instantly control her power and fight back. She punches Wanda into the next reality where she confronts the family she has been terrorizing the entire movie. Now she realizes how awful she is. She decides to destroy the Darkhold in all realities and kills herself, which, given her mental health issues, was a given. America is free to live and the multiverse is safe for now. Oh, and also Doctor Strange has a third eye. Okay, so overall the movie was pretty good. It's not the amazing stuff we get from the other phases, phase 1, 2, and 3, but it's a solid movie. My problem with it, well, I have a few problems with it. Well, first of all, how strong are wizards? Because I can't decide, are they, reality bending saviors, or are they just like barely holding together? Because at this point, they seem just one notch, maybe one notch above the Harry Potter wizards that are in school. The Illuminati thing I feel like was pointless. I mean, it was really cool to see John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, which is I think a lot of people's fan casting of it. But to see Patrick Stewart come back as Professor X, especially in the little yellow thing, is kind of bittersweet because they keep trying to allude to this much better X-Men movie that never fucking existed. And I've already had previous problems with the X-Men movies. I'm not going to get into that here. But it's just, they keep teasing it. So between this Professor X and the X-Men at the very end of X-Men Apocalypse, there's an X-Men movie hypothetically that existed, Fox, that was just the perfect combination of what everybody wanted from the 90s, but we never get it. Yeah, I kind of feel like they threw the Illuminati in there and it didn't have the weight because it was a bunch of heroes we weren't familiar with. I mean, we knew Captain Carter, and they used Black Bolt of all things from the fucking Inhumans show. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know he's the king of the humans, but they literally used the same guy, the same actor. And it's like, the Illuminati felt bittersweet for all these reasons. Professor X dying again. I'm not sure what their problem with Professor X is, but they killed him like 3 times on screen now. Yeah, Reed. I mean, it's Reed Richards. Even if he gave Doctor Strange something to help him navigate the multiverse, that'd be even cooler to show how smart Reed's supposed to be. But we didn't get that. We just got him stretching just a little bit. That's about it. Yeah, so the Illuminati would have hit a lot harder if it was heroes we knew of, or it was heroes in our universe, in the 616 as they say. If we had saw, if the Illuminati was at the end credits had showed Black Bolt, I guess you would throw Black Bolt in there, T'Challa, maybe somebody was sitting there with a Black Panther mask on. No, he doesn't talk because R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. You know, and then like out the shadows stood Iron Man. Like Robert Downey Jr. came back. Like he showed like he faked his death. And if the Illuminati was in our universe, that'd have been hit a lot harder than this Illuminati from another fucking multiverse. And we're supposed to care that Doctor Strange was killed. Listen, at this point, we've seen Doctor Strange die like at least 20 times on screen. So his death in all this movie going on, all the death, oh, I died defending you. Oh, I had to kill myself. Oh, this one was killed by Illuminati. Who gives a shit? He got killed like 20 times by Dormammu in the very first movie. And then by Thanos. And he got snapped away. It just it falls flat on tension because this man dies all the time. To me, the movie kind of lacked focus. By what I mean by lack focus, it wasn't sure it was going to be Doctor Strange 2 or going to be a Civil War situation. I feel like it should have leaned more towards a Civil War situation. See, where Civil War got it right was it had two heroes that were trying to fight each other, and one hero was chasing another hero down with a star pattern on them. A teenage superhero came in, and then one superhero kind of branched the gap between other studios. So where the Civil War had Spider-Man branching the Sony Marvel gap, now you had Professor X and Mr. Fantastic branching the Fox gap. But yet again, the reason that worked more is because Spider-Man did a little bit more than just stand around and get his ass whooped. I mean, he talked a little bit, he interacted with people, and he kind of, was charismatic. Where he's got Patrick Stewart disagreeing with Strange and then agreeing with Strange and then get his neck snapped by Wanda, even though he's the most powerful psychic in the world. At what point am I going to get the Professor X I know from the comic book that just masters the astral realm? I've never seen that on screen. I would love to see it where he just controls the psychic verse. That never happens. Digress. The reason I feel like Civil War works better and this one doesn't work as well, there was no love story really in Civil War. I mean, Sharon snuck a kiss in on Steve, but it wasn't about that. He wasn't trying to stumble and confess his love every 5 seconds. He wasn't like, no. He was like, cool, I gotta go save my friend. He didn't care about, fuck them hoes. Steve did not care. But I wasn't believe Doctor Strange can see the multiverse, and he goes to all these different dimensions, and he can see everything's bigger than whatever, and the problems on Earth are so small, but he still hung up on this chick? No. So I feel like if they lean more towards how Civil War did it, it would have been a lot better. I mean, also Civil War ended bittersweet. The fact that their problems weren't resolved by a kumbaya and a hug at the end, that was very tragic. And I mean, I guess the same can be said here. Wanda's traumatic realization that she's been a monster to her family, well, to her kids. She's a boogeyman to them. It's kind of the point. I mean, it kind of hits an emotional thread, but at the same time, watching two heroes that were friends tear each other apart and then not be friends by the end of the movie was devastating to a lot of fans. And Wanda they just didn't hit the same. Doctor Strange and Wanda didn't really have a relationship outside both of them being magic, and both of them showed up to save the day at the end of Endgame. It just needed more emotional stakes. Maybe if Vision showed up and did something and tried to talk Wanda down and she destroyed Vision herself, would have shown how far she's fallen from being the Wanda we knew from WandaVision, who built an entire world just to have Vision in there. I mean, I get that she got over her ex because she couldn't have him, but at the same time, if he showed up and did something to stop Wanda or helped, it kind of would have justified it, a little bit. It would have been a more emotional stake. Also, Civil War kind of tied a lot of things together at one time. It was tying Iron Man 3 and Iron Man's plot lines together and Captain America's plot lines together into this very cohesive narrative where it was like a nexus point of movie. I mean, also tied in Age of Ultron, because the new Avengers were there. But Doctor Strange just kind of literally felt like it was trying to do Doctor Strange 2 and maybe a little bit of WandaVision, because they kind of touch on that and they kind of tied a little bit of Spider-Man in. But where was Loki? You think after all this multiverse stuff going on and multiverse universe hopping, considering that Loki's show opened up the multiverse, Loki would be included somewhere. I mean, they tied into What If. That was cool with Captain Carter being there. That's how we know she was there. But I mean, what about Loki? They should have threw Loki in there. I mean, that'd be interesting, especially because Doctor Strange know who Loki is, and Loki would not know who Doctor Strange was because this Loki, was right after the Avengers 1 Loki, so he never met him. So I think it'd been cool they met Loki. If Loki was in the movie. I just feel like they tied up all I just feel like they show all this multiverse stuff. Anybody involved with the multiverse should have been present. And I feel like not having Loki in it kind of was a missed opportunity. My last real big problem with the movie is that Wanda's character arc is just wasted. Like, what's the point of any of what Wanda does? You know? Like, so Wanda starts off as being a child that's being manipulated by people to use her powers. She's a hero for a while. Then she falls in love, and then, you know, the whole thing happened in WandaVision, and then when WandaVision happens, another witch shows up to try to take her power from her by, you know, killing her in the same process, and she overcomes all that just to become the person who's trying to manipulate a young child and take their power from them. It's like she could be a complete 180, and I guess you could say that's because of the Darkhold, but I don't know. Maybe if like there was like an evil Wanda and a good Wanda within her, like how we saw that the other Wanda was inside her mind being blocked. If we saw like the same Wanda in her head and the Darkhold Wanda being like a big monster in her head or something, if Wanda had saved herself from being corrupted, that had also been another emotional point. It's just another hurdle for her to get over. You know, she had to get over the Darkhold. She had to get over her own depression. She had to get over loss of her brother. You know, it's another point for her to get over. And we didn't get anything. She just got, yeah, you are a monster, kill yourself. And that's not, it feels weak. I feel like we were robbed of a genuine ending for Wanda. I don't know. I mean, and then Doctor Strange didn't even get the girl, so what was the point of all that love story shit being in there in the first place? You literally just threw a love story in there because movie. It didn't do anything for me. I don't care about Christine Palmer. I don't know anybody who's like, you know who has a good love story? They're Doctor Strange. They don't have the chemistry that Chris Evans and Peggy Atwell have, or even Tom Holland and Zendaya. They don't have the same connection, you know. Like I feel like even Thor and Natalie Portman, Chris Hemsworth and Natalie Portman had a better connection than Doctor Strange and Christine Palmer. I just don't. It just feels flat and forced. Honestly, I really could give less of a fuck. If you take out every part she was in the movie, I don't even think it changes anything. Yeah, the Illuminati was gonna come get him anyway to talk to him. He could have been anybody's waiting at the beginning, and that whole thing about him getting over the demons, he could have done it by himself too. So there's nothing really worth having the girl there. She didn't. It was just there. But God bless Sam Raimi. I know he's a director, so I feel like it's just a throwback to Spider-Man 1 through 3, where Spider-Man was in this weird will they won't they with Mary Jane, and I guess he felt like that should have been another plot point for another time, so he just used it again. But so that's all I gotta say about it. Overall, it's all right. It's not the good stuff we used to from Marvel, but I mean that's been Phase 4 altogether. So if there's any movie you'd like to see any review or talk about in detail like this or whatever, leave a comment below, and please leave a like if you watched this far into the video. Till next time.